third tutorial about writing a P paragraph, and the focus for this video will be thinking about analysing language, particularly looking at specific words. So again, to continue to evaluate your response when you're writing a P paragraph, you can comment on the effect on the reader as well as analysing the language the writer has used. So we will very quickly work through the stages we already know. So looking at this question, how is Bess presented as determined? Our focus again will be on the poem The Highwayman. So my point would be, Bess is presented as determined. Always try and use the question in your response as well. Bess is presented as determined because she uses all of her, I don't know if I want to say effort or energy, trying to warn the highwayman that certain death awaits him. So my evidence, for example, she writhed her hands till her fingers were wet with sweat or blood. If you remember, this is the point where she's been tied up and she's attempting to get her fingers onto the trigger of the gun so that in shooting herself she will warn the highwayman of King George's men hiding there. So my explanation, this shows she is determined because she does not stop trying to get the trigger even when she is hurt. I'm going to slightly tweak the structure of this to include the analysis of language. And for the purpose of the video, I'm going to mark this as a Z, because we're going to think of this as if you were using a camera and if you were trying to zoom in on a specific word, so to zoom in on a piece of language that is particularly effective and explain why it is. So in that quote, she writhed her hands till her fingers were wet with sweat or blood. I am going to choose the word blood, and this links into my explanation, the idea of her being hurt but still continuing. The word blood shows her determination, again linking back to the question, because even though she has cut herself, she does not give up. Furthermore, now in this instance I think there is more than one key word, so I'm going to comment on both of them. Furthermore, the word sweat is associated with hard work, and again, as I'm going to repeat myself, suggests she refuses to quit. So finally, we need to remember to continue our evaluation and comment on the effect on the reader. So this makes the reader feel, and this time I don't think I'm so sure that I pity Bess. I don't I sympathise with her, but at this point, I think it's more of a feeling of pride or happiness. Because she is so determined, she's trying so hard to fight for something she believes in. So I'm going to go with proud. This makes the reader feel proud as Bess fights for what she believes in, and we understand how powerful her feelings are for the highwayman. So already we know that a point, evidence and explanation is our basic structure for a P paragraph. To then evaluate your response further, firstly we have looked at commenting on the reader and thinking about how they feel for the character that we are focusing on and explaining why they have that feeling. And secondly, zooming in on a key word, at least one key word, but you can always zoom in on more than one. And if you struggle to focus on one specific word, you can comment on a small phrase. But the closer you can make your analysis of the text, the better that response will be, because it will show just how deep your understanding of the text is. So zooming in on a key word and explaining why that word is effective, explaining what it adds to our understanding of a character's situation, or to a description of setting, or to our understanding of the context or something that has happened in the poem or story.